Hey everybody, Simone here with Bulletproof Business Growth. As always, with some ideas and insights, what to pay attention to when you're growing and scaling your business. And today's episode will dive deep into a really critical topic for small business owners, building a truly profit-focused culture in your organization. Look, as an entrepreneur, your primary goal should be to generate sustainable profitability for your business. However, far too often, business owners get caught up in the day-to-day operations and really lose sight of the financial health of their company. But the truth here is every single role in your business needs to be directly or indirectly contributing to your bottom line. So the key here is to instill a profit-centric mindset into your entire team. That means every employee, no matter what their position, no matter if they're, at the top of the heap or kind of the last person on the rung, that they must understand how their work impacts the company's overall profitability. So from the sales team driving revenue to the operations team optimizing cost, like every single role should be treated as a profit center with clear goals, expectation, and of course accountability, right? So every role either contributes to profitability or it takes away from profitable growth. So when you think about like what should really be kind of the balance, what should be the relationship, and you should be aiming for a 3 to 6 return on investment ROI for every role you add to your organization. This means that revenue and cost savings generated by that position should outweigh the expenses associated with it by a significant margin. If a role doesn't meet that threshold, you should reevaluate its necessity or how it's structured. And when you're thinking about it, it's like there's the front end and the back end. And if your expenses are balanced, where you invest an appropriate amount of revenue in the front end, marketing and sales and almost all your investment goes to the back end, into operations, service delivery, finance, and tech, that means you'll never grow and your structure is unsustainable, which causes burnout, because that means your business keeps adding more and more people on the back end, which adds more and more expense. And that also means more complexity, and your front end keeps falling all on you, and eventually you just work to cover payroll and expenses without the possibility for growth and the ability for you to become less involved in the daily operations of the business. So that kind of balance doesn't work, and that happens a lot of times when business owners are so focused on growth, they're pumping all this investment into the back end, into the delivery, and their focus isn't really on the balance of front end and back end so that this is sustainable. So don't build a dead end for yourself where you keep increasing expenses without a clear plan for how those expenses will bring a strategic return in excess for what they cost. So look, the reason for this very profit-centric approach is it's so critical, because the rising costs of doing business are forcing small companies to be as lean and as efficient as possible. We all know how much labor's gone up, how much COGS have gone up, like everything has gone up, and the return hasn't kept up with that. So as business owners, we keep having to look at, how can we be more lean? How can we be more profitable? Where can we cut the fat and be really focused so that we keep striking that right balance? Because as the business owner, you're the one who's footing the bill, probably not some deep-pocketed investor or corporation. So every dollar you spend needs to be strategically aligned with driving profitable growth. So, you might wonder, how do I get there, which if I haven't been really focusing on that. So to implement this profit-focused culture, you need to take a systematic, top-down approach, and start by clearly defining the profitability goals and metrics for each position in your company. So, what are the specific revenue, cost saving, or efficiency targets that you expect every role to achieve? Communicate these expectations transparently with your team, and of course, hold them accountable. And this is like one thing that I see over and over, where the communication may happen. You might have this conversation with your team, maybe with your leadership, and you expect that your leadership brings this throughout all the different layers of the organization, and then it's this one-time conversation that was had, but pretty soon nobody remembers it, and certainly nobody has changed the way they do things, and you certainly haven't changed your culture. So once you do that, ensure that your organizational structure and workflows are optimized for profitability, of course. So that also means you have to avoid creating dead-end roles that add complexity and expense without having a clear path to increase revenue or cost reduction. So instead, what you want to do is, and you want to design each position to contribute directly or indirectly to your bottom line. So that means, it's pretty close. It's pretty clear that your marketing and sales teams should be aligned very closely, working together to generate high quality leads and convert them efficiently. Your operations and customer service functions should be laser focused on delivering an exceptional customer experience that, of course, maximizes lifetime value. And your finance and technology team should be empowered to identify cost-saving opportunities and optimize internal processes. So keep in mind that if you're the only person generating sales and producing profits, you are actually failing as the CEO. You should have a team of profit-focused individuals who can drive revenue and manage costs, freeing you, of course, to focus on strategic and high-level leadership. So every person on your team needs to be profit-focused no matter what they do. And I know that's, for many of you, completely outside the realm of what you've been doing or what you're used to and what your team is used to. So this is not going to happen, overnight, but it's something that you have to start emphasizing and implementing and talking about and talking it up, and you will be the chief reminding officer and the broken record to really make that shift happen in your culture. And all of this, of course, starts before you even think about interviewing, about hiring, because when you are hiring ready, and we talk about this a lot with our clients, because hiring ready, it means that you know exactly what your goals and expectations are from the role and how you expect it to contribute to profit. You'll hire very differently, and you'll hire a very different person, one who's profit aware and profit conscious and profit driven versus one who is not. So you'll be interviewing very differently, and you'll be paying attention to very different clues than if you didn't have this clarity. So you might be listening to this, looking at your existing team and thinking, well, nobody is actually profit focused. And some of the people on your team may be costing you more than they bring in. So here's the thing about that. If you've been around us for a while, you'll have heard me talk about the 4 ITs that are the cornerstones to having a great team. And your right team fit people, their ITs will be profit connected, because they get that for your business to be healthy, you need to be profitable, and that they have a great role in that. And they understand that for you to have a great role in your business has to be healthy. So when we break this down, of course, sales is the most obvious role that drives cash flow, but that's only on the front end. I can't tell you how many of our customers are doing fine with sales, but they fail even before that, getting proposals out, following up on those proposals, and after the sale, getting invoices out, making sure they get paid on the invoices on time, collection on unpaid invoices. There's so many pieces to the financial puzzle besides sales that may equate upwards of 30% of your cash flow if everything works. So getting all these pieces clearly aligned with your goals and expectations, your plan, your vision, the way that you design your business is absolutely crucial. For operations, that means that everything they do, so they do everything in their power to make sure that everybody in sales can produce the highest outcome, because now they are supported, they have accurate data, the customers love their experience, so it's very easy to keep them and serve them as a customer. Also, of course, they make sure that everybody who is working with you, any outside contractors, any vendors, they're producing the best work possible at the lowest price. They facilitate and oversee possible cost reductions, elimination of waste, and of course QA all the way around. Of course, that leads right back to what I just said, to your customers having the greatest experience working with you and increasing your LTV, your lifetime value of your client, which that's a really important one, because that's a free client, that's a free customer. You already have that customer, you don't have to pay for them anymore. So, and then, there's customer service, which sits right between sales and ops, because obviously they have a great role in the back end sales as well as in re-enrollments, upsells, cross sales, making sure that customers are happy, referrals, right? And also making sure that operationally that they do everything right in terms of client fulfillment. So, like I said, those are your free sales that have the highest profit margin, because you don't have to pay for that customer anymore. You already have them. There's absolutely no expansion of the business possible without having a great marketing team, because we need them to open up the market for us. So delivering consistent, high quality leads, and of course, if you don't arrange this right, it's very often that sales and marketing teams have this very contentious relationship. If sales and finance and operations and marketing don't work together very closely. So they need to be very closely working together. They need to be focused on the same goals, and that's really what creates and protects your greatest profit. So you can see pretty much every role here can be connected to creating healthy profits in your company, and your job as a leader is to create and provide the lens that looks at this for your team, and making sure that everybody keeps looking at your business through that lens. So this level of profit-centric thinking it doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen, organically, if you don't involve every single level of your team, of your organization in this process. It's a cultural evolution that you as a leader need to guide, implement, and consistently reinforce. Like I said earlier, you're going to be the chief reminding officer. You're going to be the broken record, so that you can help your team shift their thinking. And frankly, for some of the people you have, this is not going to be a comfortable shift. You may encounter some resistance because they haven't thought of themselves in those roles and with this focus. So it's very important that you observe who on your team can shift and can focus on this very important function, and who cannot, because some people cannot or will not, and they will be actually diverting from your efforts. So really encourage your team to share ideas, identify inefficiencies, and collaborate on initiatives that will enhance your company's financial health. And then, of course, celebrate the wins and the successes along the way to really reinforce the importance of this mindset. So remember, the purpose of hiring employees is to grow your business, not just to complete tasks. So every role you add should be a strategic investment that generates substantial returns. And by instilling this profit-centric mindset throughout your organization, you'll not only improve your bottom line, but you'll also empower your team to really become those active stakeholders in the company's long-term success, which means you have more engaged employees, you have employees who are bought into your mission, you have employees that show up much more wholeheartedly. So it's a great situation. It's a great focus all across the board. Look, your business is only sustainable if you keep those two sides in balance, or you'll always feel like you're kind of like really far out on the edge there, and any market fluctuation could be a really big problem or even the end of your company. So that's why you need the support from your team and the focus and mindset from your team to like hold everything together with you. So that's all the time that we have for today's episode on creating a profit-centric culture for your business. So let's recap really quickly what we talked about. So the most important thing is to instill a profit-centric mindset in every single team member. So from sales to operations to customer service, every role needs to be directly or indirectly contributing to your company's bottom line. Define really clear profitability goals and metrics, optimize your organizational structure, and hire team members who understand the importance of driving profitable growth. Of course, as always, involve your team, your entire team, in your vision and planning and accountability around profitability. It's a cultural evolution that you as a leader need to guide and consistently reinforce. And remember, the purpose of having employees is to grow your business, not just to complete tasks. Every role should be a strategic investment that generates substantial returns. So by embedding this profit-focused mindset throughout the organization, you'll not only improve your bottom line, but you'll also get employees who really work with you. So keep that relentless focus on profitability at the core of everything you do, and your business will be much better positioned for sustainable growth and profitability. So thanks for listening today. We'll catch you next time. Keep growing and stay profitable. And for more info, check out our new offer at bizscalingblueprint.com. It's entirely free. There's a ton of great information that can get you started. bizscalingblueprint.com, BIZ. All right, we'll see you next time. Have a fabulous week.